As you know, opera and theater is kind of undergoing a seismic change right now.
We feel that we are due for an opera company. Most major cities already have one.
We are at that precipice, and this is the right time for the next growth that Fort Wayne is ready for.
And there's already so much creative talent in the Fort Wayne area that can be drawn from. It's as if Fort Wayne's ready-made for such a project and endeavor.
Take that, Royal Opera! Step aside, Deutsche National Theater!
We are here today speaking in support of opera today! Exclamation point.
Exclamation point.
My name is Deborah Lynn, and I am artistic director of a new opera company.
Well, what our company, Opera Today, is trying to do is to enhance what's going on in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
We have a lot of really wonderful artsy things going on here. There's an orchestra, lots of dance companies, but there's a big opera-sized hole.
We have already a very talented not only a musician, but a composer, someone who is so talented in the field of music, and it's Dr. Deborah Lynn.
I've been producing operas for 30 years at the collegiate level, so I understand that young artist element and that emerging artist part of it, but I also have worked with opera productions that are on a more professional level. I've been a musician for 40 years, a professional musician for 40 years, so I know a lot of people now, and I've traveled all over the world. I'm very good friends with Stuart Copeland, and I've performed some of his operas. What a different perspective he brings.
I was blessed to encounter Dr. Deborah Lynn, who is quite unique in show business. Way off in the opera end of stagecraft, she brings the same vitality that powers the most popular arena shows.
Music is really necessary in order for people to have a way to rest and to communicate and to have an outlet for their artistic channels. And so what better place to have an opera than Fort Wayne, Indiana, because we want to enhance the growth of that community.
My vision for the company is to do a lot of community engagement. Part of my community engagement includes absolutely getting into the schools.
I've had my choirs participate in no less than 5 collaborations. In every instance, Deborah was willing to rehearse with my students at my local schools during the school day or in the evenings as needed. She would frequently bring along some of her university chamber choir vocalists to boost the confidence of my high school performers.
We're just in this little hub where all these people are being trained for this art form, but there's no place here for them to go when they finish their degrees.
Not having an opera, not having something that to offer means that individuals that are coming through here, that grow up here, that get a performance degree, cannot find a career. There is no career path in our region to explore or use a performance degree in any sort of opera of any kind. So that forces any of our talent that we have developed or grown in our region to have to go elsewhere to find employment.
I know there was some talk about Fort Wayne being a music capital of the world, kind of like Nashville. I think that those plans have not been scrapped. I don't think they've been fully developed yet. But since those things are on the table, we felt it was a really great time to offer our company as a vehicle to help the community build that kind of a marketplace.
What you have in Fort Wayne in that area is the amazing talents of one Deborah Lynn.
I believe Deborah Lynn is the perfect person to be the creative director of the company. I've seen her in action on multiple projects with Mikautatsa Dance Theater and her own projects. I've seen her conducting her orchestra, her choir.
I don't think I can express enough why Deborah Lynn is exactly the right person to lead this project.
She powers folks up and is like a magnet pulling creative energy from her cast and team. She staged my invention of morale at Manchester University with a production that rivaled the professional big guys.
We are here today in support of Opera Today because of Deborah Lynn and because we believe in her vision.
She's both understanding and competent. not only directing musicians and vocalists, but by exuding an awareness and a sensitivity towards other performing artists and other directors.
An opera company is one of those elements that we just don't have to put on the books, and it'd be really exciting to be able to say, this is another piece that is here for us.
This is an idea that can expand not only in Fort Wayne, but also across the nation. We are really looking for new things and ways to present the art form of opera.
I want our operas to be something where you can leave your pearls at home. Show up in your ripped jeans. I don't care. Just get in the door, sit in the seat, take it in. Some really fun things that I want to do are audience engagement, so interactive stuff. Like, can we do a murder mystery and the audience solves it? Something like that. So I have some ideas of things that I really want to do that maybe don't exist yet. I'm really interested in collaborating with people who are of that same ilk. But I also love traditional opera. I love Monteverdi and Strauss and Puccini. But what if we take La Boheme in a little bit of a different direction and do it a little bit differently than he did? So still honoring those traditions is important, but also showing a little bit of a different angle. We just need resources. I think all the talent is here. My vision of what we can do is here. I think it's pretty limitless. The only thing that limits us is our resources, our funding. So when we have that, when we can partner with people who can help us in that way, we can do great things and draw a lot of really cool people to this area.
I'm buying tickets for that.